Hello and welcome to the Flicksters. Yes, this is the place where two movie geeks bring you all the movie reviews and TV updates you can ever want in your lifetime. Yes, you can download our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Castbox and Anchor. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. So follow us before we follow you. See you there.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of The Flicksters. And wow, what a show we have for you today. So, listen, forget the intro, Deval, let's just go into it.
I want
to just go right into it. But before we do go into it, I was listening back to episode 11, last week's show, and... Dadak.
What? Dadak.
I loved it, bro. It's so funny, right? So when you get a chance, listen back to last week's episode. It's seriously, I was listening over it. I pissed myself laughing. So, ladies and gentlemen, see if you can go download last week, and we talk about Dadak, which was a film in the UK's box office top 10. Okay, so Deval, we're going to start off with movie news.
Yes.
And let's take it away. What is this about a petition?
Yeah, we did mention probably a couple of weeks ago now. Obviously, a lot of people know that James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy, and also heavily involved in a lot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, he was axed from everything Disney, Marvel, because of historic tweets that were unearthed from, I believe, between 9 years ago. Yeah, up to 9 years ago, these tweets were... A lot of these tweets, I'm not going to lie, or, sugarcoat it, these tweets were really bad. Some of them were, speaking very, very badly of like disabled, or speaking like sexist, and also to do with... like child,
like molestation,
yeah,
and like,
I can't remember myself to say it. Yeah,
like jokes and things,
crazy things, and like he himself said, okay, yeah, I do admit it was really bad of me, ill-advised. I was a prick for saying these tweets, but they do not reflect who I am today. I apologize, blah blah blah. But Disney, none of it. Disney are a family-oriented company. They want nothing to do with that, and for them to act a successful, part of them,
it's a big thing.
It's a big thing. So there's been a massive petition. 300,000 signatures are attributed to this petition to rehire James Gunn.
Yeah.
And Disney are like,
Yeah, I was just going to say to you, is that going to be enough?
It's not enough. No, Disney have got a firm stance on this. They do not want to associate themselves with anyone who is willing to, broadcast messages of such a derogatory nature.
Yeah.
So...
Sorry.
I was going to say, even some of the actors have backed him. Dave Bautista's backed him. Even Mike Coulter, who's Luke Cage, has backed him publicly. A lot of people have backed him, but nah.
And what about just recently, the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy, they penned a letter, an open letter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then what they kind of said was, look, we waited 10 days for us to... So they needed a bit of space from the whole thing, because there was lots of stuff going on. So they took their time and they put their name to this one letter saying, look, we stand by James Gunn and it was a mistake. And, we hope that this situation can get resolved. But I don't think it's going to happen, is it?
Yeah, I reckon it's probably not going to happen. And I reckon it's a shame. Obviously, what he said, it was bad. But, we've all made mistakes. Sure. And he's come out and publicly apologised. I reckon one company's loss could be DC's gain. Who knows? Watch this space.
Yeah. And just finally on that note, the script for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is done.
Yeah, it was done a few weeks ago, and he actually tweeted the script, saying it was done and now sort of waiting for the next stages. So.
Yeah. I wonder, he'll still get credit, right? He must.
He'll still get credit as the writer and probably some sort of producing credit, but that's going to be it, I reckon.
Okay, all right, cool. So what's coming out with Sony?
Sony have confirmed Kraven the Hunter.
Okay, I haven't heard this.
Yeah, Kraven the Hunter movie is in the works with the Equalizer 2 writer. Right. So so this is going to happen. Craven the Hunter, for a lot of guys that have watched the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, I don't know if you remember that one. Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean,
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
but I don't remember
Radioactive Spider-Man. Craven the Hunter. He's a hunter and he's Craven.
Okay.
Which some people think, I mean, some people know it as it means hungry, but he's not hungry.
Okay.
He's just, his name's Craven the Hunter. He's got strength, he's got durability, he's got senses. He can, if he wants you, think of it this way, he's like Liam Neeson on like mad steroids.
Yeah,
he's got a very particular set of skills, and when he wants you, he's gonna get you.
He's gonna get you.
Yeah.
Okay, look here. You have my daughter. Give her back. If you don't, I will find you.
Exactly.
And I will eat you.
And the funny thing is, though, Craven the Hunter was initially going to be the arch rival of Black Panther.
Oh.
So Ryan Coogler wanted Craven the Hunter to be the Black Panther's enemy, but it didn't happen. Obviously, Killmonger, excellent.
Yeah.
But Craven the Hunter is going to be really good for his own movie, and maybe to cross over with Spider-Man at some point.
Because Sony they're still involved with Spider-Man, aren't they? With the Tom Holland version.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's still there. So they're in partnership at the moment with Disney / Marvel.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's still their property.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, you know what? I can't wait for that one.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Spider-Man is going to be brilliant. Game of Thrones. Okay. Tell us about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Obviously, we know the last ever season's happening next year. Can't wait. I'm going to have to get my Game of Thrones fill this year. So I'm going to watch them all again.
Oh, yeah.
But
definitely.
until then, the prequels, we spoke about this a while ago, Age of Heroes and so on. So the showrunners of Game of Thrones are looking to make a prequel, and this is still in the works. The way they initially went around getting to getting to a place where they'll be happy to actually go ahead and make this show.
Yeah.
They got from, well, initially they had five different possible
Which is a lot.
shows from a prequel. They had this all locked down. They had early sort of script ideas, story ideas, and so on, and they had this all there.
Yeah.
Now they have one.
Wow. Now,
When five become one.
What? Oh, that's
What, Spice Girls?
Spice Girls. Yeah. But hang on a second. So is this because there's not enough money, or they think it's just too ambitious to have 5 different shows?
Yeah, I think it's more quality rather than quantity.
Mm,
you know, who wants too much of a good thing turns into a shit thing. So they want to have one good show that people can really enjoy, and it can't diminish the Game of Thrones legacy.
Totally.
So yeah, I think that's a clever decision. Obviously, money wise, it might not be the best decision, but I think longevity and respect.
They need you on the board, man. They need you on the board to guide them.
The board I'm on is an ironing board, mate. Yeah.
Seriously. Okay, right. So Rebecca Ferguson. Okay, so we know her from
from most recently from Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Fallout, and also Ghost Protocol was the one. Yeah,
Ghost Protocol. So that was Mission Impossible 5. So she's in our film news. Why?
Yeah, because she has been cast to start in a Men in Black spin-off.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know much about this yet. Our sources are filtering through information as we speak. So hopefully next time we can get you some more information. But I can imagine Men in Black. There's so much space to spin off. Huge
world, isn't it?
Exactly. Men in Black, aliens on Earth, and all kinds of stuff going on, and also a different perspective. If she's the lead, we have a female.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's going to be Woman in Black. So Men in Black, the title may have to change.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if they did have that.
Yeah.
Where obviously, and remember, I think about a couple of episodes ago, we mentioned that Liam Hemsworth, he was going to be doing the Men in Black reboot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there could be kind of this thing where they have like a competing product where it's the women in, so I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened. Okay, so What We Do in the Shadows, which is a film that you highly recommend.
Highly recommend.
I know, and I still haven't got around to doing this, but tell us about this.
Yeah, so this is great news. What We Do in the Shadows is a great mockumentary co-created and written, directed by Taika Waititi. Came out just I think about 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
The FX or Fox channel have greenlit a TV show.
Wow.
For What We Do in the Shadows. So this will be a TV show. I think it'll be 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And it's hopefully going to premiere in spring 2019. So not too long. Do you know what? Next year's going to be a good year.
Huge.
Next year's going to be a good year.
And just talking about Taika, and we link it back to Guardians of the Galaxy, a lot of people are saying that he could be the one to take over from James Gunn.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think he is the most likely person to do it. From what I understand, he's just finishing off on a small project at the moment. So availability-wise, he probably can do it. Whether he wants to or whether they've got someone else in line, who knows? But I think the tone of Guardians comparison with the tone of Thor Ragnarok is quite similar. Probably Thor's a bit more jovial, but still, I think he could do it.
I wonder just kind of like the awkwardness, James Gunn is out of the scene, out of the picture now, and then obviously Taker comes over, and it's like, shit, man, you're wearing someone else's shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
He's written those characters.
Yeah.
He knows those characters.
Even James Gunn's brother is always in Guardians.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's gonna eject himself
and says
family.
Talking about that, Scott Derrickson, the director of
Doctor Strange.
I think he quit Twitter.
Oh, he's not on Twitter anymore.
He's not on Twitter anymore. Ooh. And a lot of people were like, well, why is this? And he kind of mentioned, look, this is going to be my last tweet.
Yeah.
It's
getting too dangerous.
I've had enough, basically. Yeah. It's
I don't
just
blame
like
him. But why didn't he use the time gem and just turn back on the Twitter pages?
Turn back time.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, so that's going to be coming out. So What We're Doing in Shadows will be coming out next year, spring. Also going to be co-produced by Paul Sims, who worked on Atlanta, the TV show. So good pedigree there.
Good pedigree there, yeah. And keeping it with the FX, and I heard about this as well. Tell us about Chris Rock and FX.
Yeah, Chris Rock, the comedian, actor, entertainer, funny guy. He will star in FX's again, season 4 of Fargo.
Yeah.
I've seen all 3 seasons of Fargo. It's really good.
Yeah.
So in the past, they've had Ewan McGregor in that. They've had, what's our friend's name?
The Hobbit.
The Hobbit guy. I can't remember his name now. But yeah, so he's been the star. I think season 2. Season 1, you had Billy Bob Thornton in it as well.
He was in that one, yeah.
And Chris Rock. I'm not sure if he's going to be the star or maybe he'll be co-star, but it'd be interesting to see him putting on a Minnesota accent.
I know, yeah.
Can you imagine how that will sound.
But he can do. I've seen him in, what film did I see him? It was a shit. I'm sorry, my mind's gone blank here. But I've seen him do drama.
Drama.
I have seen him do drama.
I think I know the film you're talking about. I can't remember the name, but
it was him and a French actress.
Okay. Yeah, he can do it. I'm sure. Yeah, he can.
Listen,
do it.
he's got the skills.
Yeah,
man.
Of course he can.
He can definitely do him. And he was in New Jack City as well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what's this thing about what Incredibles 2? What? Tell me about this one.
Incredibles 2. It's hit 1 billion worldwide already. Incredible.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
What? 1 billion already?
Yeah, 1 billion worldwide, and it's been out for, I think, 3 weeks.
3 weeks or something like
that. So, oh my gosh, perfect timing. School holidays. Yeah.
Yeah. So there'll be a third one, right?
I reckon so. But will it be 14 years till we get it?
I was just about to say to you, why did it take so long? Wow. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, I still haven't seen it. You saw it. So anyone out there, if you want to listen to the Flicksters review of that, go check out episode 10.
I think it's that's right. Yeah.
I think episode 10. Okay, so keeping it with the whole superhero, tell us about Supergirl.
Yeah, Supergirl. So Supergirl TV show that comes on the CW. I've watched 3 seasons so far of that. Really good show. I like it. I like all those DC TV shows. But they have cast the first transgender actress within a leading role.
Wow.
So so this transgender actress was born a twin.
Okay.
So was born male.
Yeah.
With another twin brother, so 2 boys. And then obviously when the woman was young, or when she was young, she felt she wasn't in the right body and so on. And I read an article where she was 2 years old and she asked her adoptive parents, "So when do I get to be a girl?" So, you know, from a very, very young age, she was experiencing that, and obviously now gone through the process.
Yeah.
In entertainment now and doing roles, obviously quite hard to come by, I'm sure. You know, roles and so on, good meaningful roles, and
Sure.
I believe the CW is is a diverse network, and the cast and storylines and so on. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that.
Excuse me. And I was going to ask you, do we know anything about the superhero character, like who she'll
No,
play?
they do keep things quite hidden,
Right,
because the reveal has to be wham bam, sort of thing. So we will find out a bit more about the character. But Supergirl characters are quite good, and they're quite, they have good character.
I'm loving the kind of diversity of it, because at the next piece of news, tell us about Batgirl.
Yeah, Batgirl. So that's going to start filming, I believe, early 2019, and will be, I guess, released later on in the year. That's the Batgirl TV show. And again, so Batgirl TV show. First of all, Batgirl, I think, was in the comics, came out 1943 or 41.
Wow.
Or something like that. And then so for a long time, Batgirl sort of left the comics. I didn't really feel Batgirl was hitting the audience.
Sure.
Only came back in 2006. But Batgirl's background, he's Kate Kane. So nice, snappy name there.
Yeah, Kate
as
Kane.
you get in the comics.
But what's the link with it? Does Batman train her up?
Yeah, in the comics, so like a protege, kind of
Right,
like Robin
okay, yeah.
type character, and obviously they fight crime together and have their, twos and frows and so on, all that kind of thing. But Batgirl, is actually a lesbian Jewish character from the comics.
Yeah.
So there's there's conflict and conflicts.
Yes.
Here. So it's going to be interesting to see if that's the character we get.
Yeah.
On the TV show when it comes out. And again, interesting to see how that will play out on screen.
Yeah, because the first time that we saw a version of Batgirl was in Michael Schumacher's version?
George Clooney and
and
Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah. So we had Batman, Robin, and Batgirl.
Yeah.
And do you remember the end scene when they're running in the shadow at night? Oh, God.
They're all running.
Yeah.
Someone should have put some oil on the floor.
I know,
fall
man.
over.
Just like sort of slipping everywhere. That was funny. Okay, and finally, I read about this, and we posted this on our Instagram, Twitter, and whatever page. But Daredevil season 3 set for this year.
Yep. I think early December, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what the kind of surprise was. People were expecting a season 3, but they thought, okay, it's going to come in 2019, but they've officially announced that it will come before this year is over.
Yeah.
So we've got Iron Fist in September, so that's next month.
Yep.
And then a couple of months after that, we'll see another Daredevil.
That's the way it should be. I mean, you got 4 great characters. You got Jessica Jones, you got Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Daredevil, and in the year, I think every quarter we should be getting one of these. And so far this year, that's been the case. But Jessica Jones in March, we had Luke Cage in July, I think it was, or June, July, and then Iron Fist we're going to have in September, and then end the year with Daredevil.
Yeah,
Daredevil actually finished filming before Iron Fist.
Oh. Okay.
So they wrapped filming quite a while ago.
Sure.
But because of the way Daredevil season 2 ended, where we weren't sure if he was alive or whatever, there was all that mystery. They kept it underground until end of the year. So we're going to find out all of that soon. I'm
actually looking forward to Iron Fist. You know that.
Yeah.
Because the first season was that introduction. We would get to see the character Danny Rand and everything, and I'm hoping they really expand it now, make it. Do the character justice.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. And obviously we'll be here next month to kind of we're going to be here, break it down. All right, brilliant. So that's a lot of movie reviews. Thanks for that, Deval. Let's move on to the box office top 10. And we've got a few surprises in there. And I'm so still surprised about this. Sherlock Gnomes is still in the UK's top 10.
Was that there last week or did it come back?
I think it's come back.
It's come back, hasn't it?
It's definitely come back.
It wasn't there before.
Overall, it's done like 9 million in the UK. So sitting in at number 10 is Sherlock Gnomes. And I think you'll have to go back to episode like 5 or 6 for us to kind of, we've mentioned it before. We haven't seen it. It's Sherlock Gnome story. It's a Sherlock Holmes story, but in gnome version.
Yeah.
All right. And Ocean's 8 is still in there. So that's sitting in at number 9.
Yep.
And, you know, we kind of figured it was going to be on its way out, and it's kind of slowly coming
it'll be
out
out
there.
soon. Next week it'll be out. First Purge, Last Purge.
Yeah.
Enough said about that.
Enough said.
It needs to go.
Exactly. So that's number 8, The First Purge. Number 7, Skyscraper, which I think we mentioned this. Probably not one of The Rock's biggest hits.
No.
But, you know, his fans will love it and watch it and keep going to watch it. So, you know, that's interesting. So number 6, Jurassic World, The Fallen Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Still there.
Still there. Taking over 40 million in the UK, and worldwide, I'm sure it's
like, going to do well.
It's killing it. And we'll see another one. At number 5, Event Cinema, Andre Rieu's 2018 Maastricht concert.
I ain't got a clue what that is. Is it some sort of opera or some sort of classical music thingy?
Yeah, I think so.
But that's taken 1.5 million. So
whoever this guy is, flipping hell, man. People are loving it, lapping it up. If you got a review of it, why not send it in to us? Let us know. A new entry here, number 4, Hotel Transylvania 3, A Monster Vacation. Now, have you seen any of the other two?
Nope.
Neither have I. But I do know it's Adam Sandler.
Okay.
So it's Adam Sandler voiced, and there's going to be like a host of other kind of like famous people in there. I haven't seen 1 and 2. So folks, if you've got a review of this one, let us know. Tell us what you think about it. And hopefully we've got a chance to watch this one. Sitting in at number 3 is Incredibles 2. You saw it.
Yep, seen it. Sound is a solid movie. It's done really well. And I can predict that this will stay there for a while over the summer holiday for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, think about it. I mean, if it's doing 1 billion worldwide, I mean, people are going to be watching it,
exactly.
Right? Okay. So that's number 3, and sitting in at number 2 is Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. And I was kind of a bit surprised because I thought it might have been in number 1 for a bit longer, but I mean, you know, with what we've got at number 1, I mean, the competition.
But saying that though, I mean, for the week in total, it's literally less than 200 grand between that and the top film. Yeah. So it's actually, it's still doing okay. Yeah. Next week, who knows what's going to happen? It's quite, I've never seen it so tight.
I know that is, but I mean, as we know, the UK's number 1 film is Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yep.
And I mean, it's already broken records. I mean, you alluded to this last week. I think it's one of the biggest opening of a Mission Impossible film.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's the second most. It's the second highest grossing film of Tom Cruise. I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So clearly, people aren't bored of this.
Yeah. And
the figures will show that, you know what, there'll probably end up being another one.
Yeah, I think so. And also, just seeing Henry Cavill reload his gun, his biceps.
His biceps again. And folks, we reviewed this last week, so check out episode 11 of the Flixers, download that, and we go into detail, and obviously the spoilers in there, but let us know what you think. Okay, so out this week on Blu-ray, what do we have, Deval?
Yeah, Ready Player One, which was a really, really good film. Came out a few months ago.
I liked
Steven Spielberg. And it's like, you know, virtual reality in the future, lots of like, you know, chases, special effects. It's probably the film with the most Easter egg, sort of hidden gem type characters I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I saw a video on YouTube and someone spotted over 300.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just, this film was a fun film.
It was
a fun film.
And I remember I went into the cinema watching this film and I was smiling all the way through it.
Oh.
Like, you know, it was just kind of like so many film references, and I was like, oh, look at Back to the Future. Oh, look at Star Wars. Like, look at this, look at that. Look, like, you know, all this stuff going on in the background. And I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. And it just made me kind of think of Steven Spielberg at that age, like he's 70 odd.
Is he?
Yeah.
No way. No,
bro,
he's not.
Yeah, bro, he's 70 odd years old. And he's still making these films, these types of films.
I'm going to check that out.
Seriously, check it out.
Serious?
Yeah. Go on, let's Google it.
Because it's been around forever.
Yeah, exactly. I know. And I'm thinking, like, you know, this guy's made so many classic movies, and he knows how to make the serious films like Schindler's List, and then he knows how to make the fun films like Ready Player One.
Yeah.
So he's still got that kind of energy going, that youngster inside of him.
Yeah.
And I just thought he's still got the vision, and wow, I'm hoping there's going to be a second one. Because Simon Pegg was in this one, and then at the end of it, the kid in the lead, the character, he gets the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he gets to be the boss.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I just thought, wow, there's so many things in this movie. So I'm glad it's out on Blu-ray, so I can check it out again. Okay, Love, Simon. What's this one?
So Love, Simon. I've not seen it. From what I understand, though, it's quite a good film. Got quite good reviews. I believe it was 80% or so on Rotten Tomato.
Sure.
Or tomato.
Tomato.
But it's a film about. Again, it hits the LGBTQ notes on this film, and about a young boy who sort of comes out and his sort of coming to age, I guess, journey through being a teenager and exploring his sexuality, how he communicates that with his friends, his family, and just all of that. So it got good reviews. So hopefully a few people can catch it and let us know what they think.
Sure. And then next up you've got over here is Isle of Dogs. Now this is a Wes Anderson movie.
That's correct.
And, and I'm a huge fan of Wes Anderson.
Okay.
Like I love his quirky style. I love some of the movies. One of my favorite Wes Anderson movie is a film called Rushmore.
I've not seen that.
Bro, it's so quirky. It's got Bill Murray in it.
Okay, he's in quite a few of his films.
He's in quite a few, and it's got Jason Schwartzman in it. And I absolutely love that film. And he's gone on to make like a couple of other ones. I didn't get a chance to see Isle of Dogs.
So you're not that much of a big fan then, are you? I mean... Really?
You got me on that one, man. Okay, yeah, you're right. Exactly.
You see, I did. So if you're watching Wes Anderson, I'm the fan here.
Wes, I'm sorry, man. Come on. But seriously, no. Tell us about this.
Yeah, it's a good film. It's got the quirky Wes Anderson vibe. You know, the some of the shots. They're quite wide and they're quite deliberate, and like they'll lean into a piece of action, and the animation. It's a mixture between your sort of Pixar and then stop motion type animation.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's really well done, actually. The voices, you got Bill Murray, Scarlett Johansson, you got Edward Norton. You've got a whole bunch of other great voices in this film, and it's about an island of dogs and their conflicts with their owners. Some dogs are abandoned. Some dogs have got homes, and it's like they have different. I guess levels in society and so on, and they're trying to find their way, and it's based in Japan actually. Yeah, it's based in Japan, so it's different. It's not like typical American sort of backdrop.
Sure.
So it lends a bit of flavor to the film. But yes, it's an interesting film. Yeah, it's one of those quirky ones that you just need to watch and just like a Sunday morning or something like that.
I'm actually surprised. Number one, that you watched it, and number two, that you liked it, because we know here on the Flicksters you don't like dogs.
I know. One of my friends, Abby, he watches the show. Shout out to Abby.
Hey Abby,
he actually told me make sure you watch the show.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, let me go and watch it, because usually I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch anything dogs. I'm thinking
exactly
rubbish, but he said watch the show. So. Watch the film, so I watched it.
All right, nice one. All right, wicked. So next up, we've got Blockers.
Yeah, so Blockers, good comedy. Yeah, I saw this recently actually.
Yeah,
and it's got John Cena in it. It's about three parents who have a close relationship with their daughters. Their daughters are, I don't know what age it is in America. They're having their prom night.
Right. Okay.
And they find out that their daughters are planning to lose their virginity at prom night.
Oh shit!
And when the parents find out, they freak out, but they don't say anything to the daughters. What they do is they follow them, and they try and stop them losing their virginity.
Yeah, like they put roadblocks, they get in the way, mess it all up.
Exactly. Yeah. So do you know what? It's a crazy film. I actually didn't think I would like it.
Yeah,
but it was actually very enjoyable.
Sounds funny,
John Cena. He surprised me.
You know what? I've noticed him in...
He's in a few films.
He was in this film that's I think it was called Table 13 or something.
Okay.
And he was in that. And yeah, he's got kind of like that comedy timing.
Yes, because I think originally when he's known for his wrestling.
Yeah.
He's a powerhouse, his muscle. I know he'd done a few films called The Marine and a few action films.
Yeah.
Which I thought he was going to be an action guy, but he's got layers.
Yeah.
The guy is kind of funny,
And you know what? I think he's taken a leaf out of Dwayne's book. Didn't Dwayne The Rock Johnson, did he do some action films at first?
Yeah. He's done a lot of action films. He's done obviously Doom and a few other action films. But yeah, he's obviously shown his diversity.
Yeah, he's got layers as well. And I think that's where
you need to. You can't be a one-trick pony.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, like what your Sylvester Stallones and your Arnold Schwarzeneggers from the 80s and 90s, and like that's probably what they used to do. But now, branching the wings. Okay, brilliant. So that's wicked. I'll try and check that one out. Okay, so new on streaming and trailer section, I wanted to mention a couple of films over here, and I couldn't believe we are seeing this only now, which is Batman Begins on Netflix.
I know.
It's like, what? Why is it taking so long to have Netflix? To have Batman Begins on Netflix.
Yeah.
So that's out this month. I mean, how do we sum up Batman Begins, man? It's a classic. It started kind of like the whole Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy.
Yeah.
Loads of filmmakers out there kind of saw this as a template and thought, right, okay, we can make something dark and gritty. Daredevil kind of springs to mind.
I got a funny feeling though that maybe DC are trying to do a bit of a sneaky marketing ploy on this one.
Oh.
I've got a funny feeling because the timing's a bit kind of thing. Because think about it, DC are going to have their DC Universe streaming service.
Yeah.
That's coming out, what are we now, August? That's coming out, I think, later this month or September.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be great timing if you started to see more DC properties?
Like all over.
Exactly. Yeah. Which will then, when DC service comes out,
it'll be like, hey, remember, we've got this service going.
So I'm not surprised that they're bringing this out now. It's like a little good marketing sort of ploy just to remind the masses who they are.
Yeah. Okay, so next up, I wanted to mention No Country for Old Men. Do you remember this film?
Coen Brothers,
Coen Brothers and the creepy
Javier Bardem.
This guy, man, what?
Gosh.
He's like a psychopath. Really crazy.
He looks funny. His haircut, everything.
And you know what made it even like stranger was the thing that he had to kill people. Do you remember it?
I know.
Man, what a thing to carry around.
I've got to see that film again, actually, because I can't even really remember too well how things go.
Definitely worth watching again. Okay, next up, this is a Martin Scorsese picture starring Leo DiCaprio, The Aviator, and this is based on Howard Hawks.
True story,
based on true story. So based on Howard Hawks, who was this film director, producer, but he then became like a recluse.
Oh.
And he wouldn't let people. He was also he was a hypochondriac. So touching hands, like germs and things like that, he would be like, really, like, that's a big no-no. So you couldn't see him. Or if you were going to have a meeting with him, he would say, right, okay, so just leave your stuff over there and then I'll kind of do it. Like, Seriously, man. He became a recluse.
Your stuff over there.
It's just like, leave it over there. I'll deal with it. And like, no long fingernails, like, long hair and all this sort of shit. So, yeah, man, that's The Aviator. Oh, and I had to mention this because I think this is underrated.
Constantine.
Yeah. Come on,
again,
man.
That's DC.
I see.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves and Tilda Swinton.
Yeah. And who was it? The guy who played the devil?
Peter Stormare. Yeah, I like him. I like him.
He's really
a funny
good.
guy. Yeah,
he's good.
Also, there's a young Shia LaBeouf in this film.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Chubby face Shia LaBeouf. So he wasn't that woke then.
Nah.
He seems to be woke now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's flipping all over the place now. So that's Constantine. Okay, and Better Call Saul season 4 is going to be out.
Do you know what? I've got a confession to make. These are my confessions. I've not seen a single episode.
You know what?
I've got to see it though. I need to see it.
Listen, I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan. Like, I religiously watched that film, and what happened was everyone said was like, you got to watch Better Call Saul, and I was like, do I really want to? But the reviews, everything that I've heard about it is supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
So I am going to check it out. What else have we got? Disenchantment. Did you hear about this one?
I ain't got a clue what that is.
So you've heard of this small show that's been going on the air, running on the airways for the last 20 odd years. It's called The Simpsons.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So the creator of The Simpsons, Matt Groening.
Oh.
This is his first show outside of the kind of the Futurama and the Simpsons type world. So this is a new show for him.
It's animation.
And it's an animation, and it's just a Netflix exclusive. So people are basically like applauding Netflix for bringing this over, and you know it's going to be on their show. So I think a lot of people are going to watch it because of the Simpsons and because of Futurama. So yeah, we'll try and check that out. Something football related I thought I'd mention, All or Nothing, Manchester City.
Yeah, I think I've seen this. This was like a documentary of the like, I guess, record-breaking, title-winning season of last or this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting to see, and you get to see a lot of backstage, behind the scenes footage of like Pep Guardiola coaching the team and all their sort of highs and lows and so on. More highs actually than lows.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting because obviously, if you're interested in football, then and obviously if you're a Manchester City fan, people are obviously going to watch this. But I think it'd be good just to see the workings, you know, of like a modern day club, and it's a massive club. So what do they do behind the scenes? How do they win? What is going behind, you know, the scenes, like you said? So it'd be interesting. And that's on Amazon. That's an Amazon exclusive. Also, an Amazon exclusive is Preacher Season 3. We've spoken about this before. I've still got like a couple of episodes of season 2 to watch, so I will be watching this. Also, a film which we discussed way before the Flicksters podcast started. It's a Amazon exclusive, and it's called Mother.
Is that Aaron Aronofsky?
Aaron, yeah. Is it? Darren.
Darren Aronofsky. Okay.
Yeah. This was a strange
Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem again.
Yeah, again. This was a strange film.
It was. This divided a lot of people. Everyone I know either loved it or hated it.
Yeah.
And some people just didn't understand it. Some people said, oh yeah, it was good in the first half. Second half, I was lost.
Yeah.
And I kind of understand where they're going from. But at the same time, I try to get myself in the film and try and think of it. Okay, what were they trying to portray?
Yeah.
And I think I've got like a little interpretation of it.
Sure.
So I kind of think that the film was almost like a person, because it's from a book.
Yeah.
I think the film was trying to show it's trying to illustrate a person reading the book, because if you're reading a book, you will get it from your perspective. You will the way the sort of the last third plays out was quite crazy.
Yeah.
But when you're reading a book, when you're imagining something, that's how crazy it can be. That's how quick things can change because you're reading, you know, changing pages and so on. So I sort of interpreted it as, okay, even though it's a film, I'm literally watching a book play out on screen, and that's the only way I could make sense and not rubbish it. Otherwise, I would have been lost as well. Yeah,
totally. I got kind of similar feelings, and after I watched the film, I was like, right, okay, there's so much symbolism in this film.
Yeah.
You know, the birth, it's had a lot of like religious like undertones for me as well, and about how society, it was kind of like for me also a discussion on how we're treating the universe.
Yeah.
We're just taking, and then obviously the universe is going to fight back, and there's going to be lots of horrors and things like that. There's so much stuff going on. But what you said about people either loved it or hated it, divided so many people. Like I saw so many 1-star reviews, so many people like slagging it off, and so many like you know, like what the fuck does this movie mean? Yeah. You have to watch it a couple of times, I think, just to get it.
But also, I think this isn't a film from now. I think 20 years time, this will be a gem, because there's been films that have been out years ago, like The Thing. The Thing came out at the same time. I think it's like E.T. and things like that.
82.
And like, you know, at the time it didn't get much. No. Now it's a great classic.
It's a classic.
There's other films as well that have been out years ago, and you know they didn't do so well.
Yeah.
But now like Scarface. You mentioned Scarface. Didn't do well in the cinema.
I think in 10 years'
Classic
time,
now.
I think in 10 years' time, we'll look back at this film and we'll be like, okay, we're going to watch it with different eyes, and we're going to like really see different stuff. Okay, so that's that. Another film I wanted to mention out on streaming, and something that I'm going to mention in our hidden gem section, is a film called Gran Torino, and this is on Netflix and it stars Clint Eastwood. I'll save that for now.
I've got Gran Torino. I think you meant Gran Turismo. That's the racing thing. It's all grand.
Yeah, that's the PS4 game. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. This is something different, but it is car related. Okay, so I'll speak about that later on in the hidden gem section. But this is out on Netflix and it's from 2008 and
Yeah.
it stars Clint Eastwood. So that's a great film. And Deval, you put over here a couple of trailers that you want to talk about.
Venom. So Venom. Venom trailer 2 has been released.
I haven't seen it.
It is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first trailer just gave us a good taste of what Venom's about, the characters and a bit of the story. Second trailer, it doesn't, Venom is going to be killing people.
Yeah.
And you get to see a bit more of his weapons.
Oh, okay.
You get to see a bit more of the enemies he's going to be fighting. There's a beautiful scene where Venom and the enemy, I'm not sure what the enemy is called, but they're just, they're all, it's like a painting on screen.
Wow.
Because the Venom symbiote is very fluid.
Yeah.
And you see it become fluid and, literally leave the body of what's his name? of Bane.
Of Tom Hardy.
Of Bane.
This is all we know. Shit.
Of Eddie Brock, I should be saying. Yeah. And then you see the enemy doing the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's almost like just colours, just fluid. Oh, it's beautiful. But
okay.
Yeah, so you get to see Venom a bit more rugged, a bit more raw. And I'm looking forward to this film. October, not too long to wait, 2.5 months. Yeah, bring on Venom.
Yeah, and also speaking of October, we got 2 big films: Halloween and Venom.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, also another film in October. Or no, that's November. Sorry, forget that.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
The house that Jack built. That one. I'm looking forward to that film. That's November though. I think. Yeah.
Okay, so November is going to be Aquaman and then the House that Jack built. Okay, all right. So we've got a few. We've got a few coming up. Okay, and tell us about this next one, Lizzie.
Lizzie Borden. I'm getting the name right. Very, very famous case in America. This was in 1800s, I think 1892, I believe. Yeah, and Lizzie Borden, axe murderer.
Oh shit!
To cut it short, yeah. So she was accused of killing relatives.
And this is the 1800s.
I know, yeah. So she's accused of killing relatives in her family by way of axe. Yeah, and the trailer looks really good.
Really,
the trailer looks good.
And do we know the actress? Like who's playing her?
Yeah, so it does star Kristen Stewart. From Twilight. From Twilight, yeah, but she's not going to be playing Lizzie Borden. It's going to be another actress.
Okay,
who is an up and coming actress who's been in a few films and so on. But I think sort of the headliner is Kristen Stewart. But yeah, the film looks quite good.
Okay,
and it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
So that gives it more gravitas type thing, and it just looks. So check out the trailer.
Oh, yeah, I would
of Lizzie, and tell us what you guys think.
All right, okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that. So a lot of stuff coming out on streaming, and there's obviously loads of trailers coming out. So check those out, ladies and gents, and let us know what you think. Now let's move on to anniversary.
Cool.
Okay, so we are looking back over the last 30 years, and first up, I wanted to mention a film that came out 10 years ago. So I think 2008 was a good year. Like, there was some kind of like
something happened that year.
Something happened that year. There was something in the water.
Few years. Dark Knight, Iron Man.
Yeah. Those are the 2 films that stand out for me for 2008. But a film which kind of, I think it went under the radar, or it wasn't as successful as what it should have been, was a film called Hancock, starring Will Smith and Jason Bateman.
And Charlize Theron.
You know what? Charlize Theron she's
versatile.
Yeah, she's in a lot of the films that we mention here. So this was a film that came out, and as soon as I remember watching this trailer, and it was like a superhero.
Yeah.
It was like a superhero. I was like, all right, okay. So my ears pricked up, and I was like, Will Smith, and Will Smith he's a really good actor, and he makes some great films. I wanted to see this. So I thought to myself, right, okay, so what have we got? What's going on over here? And then when I started watching the trailer, I was like, this is something completely different. He's a bum.
Yeah.
Like, he's washed out. He's a drunk.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what's going on. He's lost in his life. I thought this was a brilliant take on the whole superhero, story.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
No.
Never.
And unfortunately, it didn't do well. or for a Will Smith film, it wasn't as successful as what people thought. But I thought it was brilliant. And, you know, that's why I think, you know what, it should be mentioned in the anniversary corner. So if you haven't seen this film, ladies and gents, go check it out. It's called Hancock. Great acting. CGI was
all right. Yeah, it seemed a bit more kind of I don't know, realistic in a way. A bit like how Chronicle is and stuff like that. It's like when they fly, they just sort of it wasn't like how Superman goes. Whoosh.
Yeah,
he just sort of floats up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was different.
And seeing Will Smith swear was that thing. It was like, shit, is he going to swear? Because obviously a lot of his career he's like based on like wholesome, like, you know, fun comedy and stuff. And then to see him in this kind of negative light, I just thought was really, really good casting as well. Okay, so what else have we got here? 15 years, Deval.
Yeah, so 15 years. We've got Bruce Almighty. Yeah, 15 years.
Yeah, so
Morgan
this was
Freeman, Jim Carrey.
That's it.
We also had the one that would take over as Evan Almighty, Steve Carell.
Yeah. Who'd have thought?
It's 15 years ago. This film, great concepts. You know, if you could be God, what would you do?
What would you do?
You know, but I enjoyed this film, and even today when it comes on, you kind of watch it and think, oh, okay, let me just have a look at this. You know, and on Bruce Almighty, there were so many outtakes because Jim Carrey's a nutter.
It's crazy.
A nutter. So if you ever get a chance to watch it on a Blu-ray or something like that, do watch the outtakes.
The one that I do want to mention, you know, when Evan is doing the newscast, and Jim Carrey is at the back, and he's making him do that funny little thing. The outtakes of that are hilarious.
Exactly.
It's wicked. Okay, so that's 15 years. And what else have we got, which is 20 years?
20 years ago. So Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
What's this?
Exactly.
What?
So yeah, to Marvel. Do Marvel think that you think Marvel's just been around since, you know, late 90s or 2008 or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Marvel had a lot of bombs, I should say.
Yeah.
So this was a movie starring David Hasselhoff. Yeah, because
bro,
do you know what?
Are you shitting me?
I'm not shitting you. You go on YouTube or you go. Yes.
Oh,
because remember in the comics,
days.
Nick Fury only turned black later.
Later on, yeah.
There was like an alternate universe version which was black, and then they kept it.
Yeah.
And actually kept it as Samuel L. Jackson. But before that, Nick Fury looked like David Hasselhoff. He had white stripes on his hair type thing. He had brown hair, tall guy, white guy with white sort of stripes on his hair, and that's exactly how Hasselhoff looked. I mean, if you look at the comics at the old Nick Fury, he is Hasselhoff.
Oh,
literally. So he looked the part.
OMG.
Yeah,
Fucking hell, sorry.
He had the big black coat. He was doing his Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, fighting crime and all that, Hydra. You know, it was all there, but it just wasn't obviously executed in the way that we expect now. But in the day, 20 years ago, it was okay. It just didn't do anything major. At the time, Marvel wasn't who they are now. They didn't have the backing of the studios and so on. So, yeah.
And you're forgetting. So look, 1998. So David Hasselhoff, he was big because of obviously Baywatch.
Yeah.
He was big because of Knight Rider. And I'm not sure if he was like, did he have a lot of films out that time? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Maybe he did, but I don't know.
Yeah, but he was a big TV star.
Yeah.
And I mean, and like, so it's just funny. Like David Hasselhoff.
You can't believe it, innit?
I can't, man. I got to see this.
I'm going to show you.
Yeah. Okay, this film, I remember watching this, and this is hilarious. This is Hot Shots Part 2.
I love this film.
I love this Charlie
film.
Sheen.
Yeah.
And I think her name was Valeria Golina or something. She was fit. I used to love her.
Dot on her chin,
on the thing. Do you remember the bit when she has something in her stomach and he presses it and it goes in her mouth? I love it, man.
The film had so many crazy comedy moments. He's like a Rambo type character.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly.
And there's a part where he's like shooting and the body count's going up, and that's Saddam Hussein kind of lookalike,
with the rocket launcher and everything like that.
It's just.
It's like, you get those films which, a scary movie would reference the scary films.
Yeah.
This would do the whole,
like
the action films.
Spy films and stuff. Yeah. Like Liam Neeson's in it. You know, it's like the whole Naked Gun type sort of comedy.
And have you seen Charlie Sheen like in better condition?
No, he was. Yeah,
He
he was.
pumped up.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, yeah.
He absolutely pumped
Yeah.
up. I remember the promos for this.
Yeah.
He pumped up and everything, and
Yeah.
like, you know, and he was still like, you know, because he's a bit of a wild child.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I remember watching an interview of him. He goes, he had to stop like drinking.
Is it?
He had to stop all that sort of stuff
Wow.
for that like 6 month period,
Yeah.
and so he can bulk up
Yeah.
and beef up. But yeah, it's so funny, man.
Believe me, innit?
So before the scary movies,
Yeah.
before all the airplane stuff, like, you know, well, I don't know, after the airplane stuff, but yeah, watch Hot Shots
Yeah, yeah. Part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Okay, this one, it's probably been about 30 years since I last saw this. so tell us.
It's Alien Nation.
Alien Nation.
Yeah, Alien
yeah,
Nation.
James Caan.
Yeah, so this film, back in the day when I used to see it and the patches on their head and that,
Heads
I thought it was
freaked
like,
me out.
I thought they reminded me of Gorbachev. I don't know if you remember the
Yes.
old Russian or USSR
President.
yeah, Gorbachev.
Totally.
So Alienation, I think like even now, Alienation would resonate more now than obviously it did before.
Yeah.
Because the whole social friction between, you know, the aliens that have come to Earth and are trying to settle with humans, and you know what that can bring up. And I think Bright tried to sort of get that vibe.
Yeah.
I think the critics and people didn't really get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think maybe if it was more, if Bright was maybe about more of the social, you know, social friction rather than this, you know, this crime thing and this
Sure.
you know, power, maybe it might have got better ratings. But
Yeah.
Alienation, I think it was a film, and it also spawned into a TV show, didn't it?
TV show, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember watching the film and I was fascinated by it. I was like, wow, like, you know what? It's got a social commentary.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's talking about immigration and talking
Yeah,
about like
yeah.
how we treat foreigners or
Yeah,
aliens.
yeah. Can you imagine that now? And if Donald Trump, if he saw it, he'd be like, "You see, this is what I was talking about. The aliens represent the Mexicans,
Yeah.
and the blacks, and the
Exactly.
you know.
No, but you can imagine this film working right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
showing
yeah,
this on like on
yeah.
a big screen. I'm so glad you pulled this one out.
Yeah, yeah, Alienation, man. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wicked.
yeah. It's the way. Yeah, it's 30 years.
30 years, right? Okay, so 88. Wow. So again, ladies and gents, if you want to go back and listen to all our anniversary corner films, go check them out from episode 1. Have a look.
Check it out.
There's so many films in there which are not only like, you know, worth watching, but they're hidden gems as well.
Yep.
They're like really, really great. Okay. So now I think it's time for us to move on to this week's film review.
Going into the microverse now.
This is it. Let's go into the quantum void, is it?
Yeah, the quantum realm.
Of the quantum realm.
Whew.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to bring you Antman and the Wasp to your ears right now. So, let's take it away, Deval. So,
Yeah.
first of all, shall we? Can we do just a couple of minutes of a recap of Ant-Man, the first one?
Okay, yeah.
So, where did that fit into the whole MCU?
Yeah, so Ant-Man, the first one, Ant-Man. So Hank Pym, in the comics, Hank Pym is Ant-Man.
Right.
Who is played by Michael Douglas. And Janet Van Dyne is the Wasp, who's played by Michelle Pfeiffer, who we don't get to see in the first one. But we understand that Hank Pym, Ant-Man, has been operational from, you know, the 50s or 60s or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And he had problems with S.H.I.E.L.D. and also controlling his powers, so he went into hiding, just didn't share his powers. Along comes Paul Rudd, who's played by what's his name, Scott something in
Scott.
it.
Oh shit.
His name now, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think of Hank Pym all the time, but
Yeah,
so
Scott.
yeah, Scott Lang.
Scott Lang,
Scott
that's it.
Lang. Yeah. So he comes along. He's got his daughter. He's been in trouble because he tried to take down a corporation and steal their money and give it back to the people.
Yeah.
Which is quite a genuine thing if you think about it.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's still a crime. Which is why I said Ocean's 8 should have done something like that.
Like that.
Should have stolen from a bad company to give to the people.
Yeah.
But no. So that's where, sort of recap, he comes along to steal Hank Pym's something from Hank Pym's house. Turns out to be the suit that can shrink him. He puts the suit on. He turns into Ant-Man. And then the film sort of sparks into action.
Yeah.
And he has to fight Yellow Jacket, played by Corey Stoll, who's, you know, a bit twisted and so on. And yeah, he saves his family, saves San Francisco, not the world.
He basically saves the town. Yeah, you said, San
Also,
Francisco.
he teams up with Hope Van Dyne, who's Hank Pym's daughter, who's badass and she can fight. She teaches him how to fight. So yeah, got to mention that.
Yeah, because she kind of there's a whole montage about she teaches him to kind of control the ants and like tell him what to do and everything. And also just a kind of little side bit, and this relates to Age of Ultron a little bit, and I didn't realize this because in the comics, Hank Pym, Michael Douglas's character, Hank Pym and Tony Stark, they create Ultron.
Yeah, in the comics, it's a bit different the way it works, and they create Ultron, and Stark does more the tech. Hank Pym does more the AI of Ultron. So it's different.
So clearly, Hank Pym, the brain.
He's clever.
He's clever. He's a scientist. He's like a great scientist. Okay, so that was Ant-Man, and then at the end of Ant-Man, after the credits, there's a scene where Michael Douglas gets Hope, and he opens up a vault, and then there's the Wasp suit. And I thought, right, okay, this is going to then lead into kind of them, her having like, a part in the second film. Okay, so the second film then starts off with what?
So second film, so it kind of leads on from the events of Civil War, actually, because Ant-Man we saw in Civil War 2 years ago, 2016, and he was on Team Cap. So he helped Captain America to, I guess, fight the other Avengers who were trying to sort of the Sokovia Accords, or that sort of thing. So Ant-Man was captured, put on house arrest, can't leave the house, can't work with his colleagues who are building a security company.
Sure.
He can't really operate, so he's literally on lockdown for 2 years. So also, just a quick mention on Ant-Man 1, when Ant-Man, Scott Lang, went into the microverse, he, I guess, absorbed some of the microverse energy, which still sort of is within him. And in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Hank Pym and Hope Van Dyne are still looking for Janet Van Dyne. So Hank Pym's wife, Hope Van Dyne's Hope's mum, and they, because she got lost in the microverse in part one, and Hank Pym feels she's still there. So the link to getting her back is Scott Lang, because he's been to the microverse and come back. So I guess the aim is that they, Hank Pym and Hope Van Dyne use Scott Lang to try and get Janet Van Dyne back, because they sort of had a falling out because Scott Lang went to help Team Cap
in Berlin,
and took the Ant-Man suit without their authorization. So they kind of had a falling out. They're not really friends.
Sure.
When we pick up in Ant-Man and the Wasp, so there's a bit of friction there.
There is a bit of friction there, and they're pissed off the fact that, and I think Hope is pissed off. It's like in one of the scenes in Ant-Man and the Wasp, she's like, "Why didn't you take me? Like if I'd have come with you, I would have made sure that you were protected.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been caught," she said.
You wouldn't have been caught. So
they were kind of an item, remember? They were kissing and stuff at the end of Ant-Man 1. So they kind of she's a bit upset,
Exactly. So you got, and also just so that we let our audiences, our listeners know, there's some of the usual suspects are still back in there. So you've got Michael Pena, you've got T.I., and
you got the sort of Russian kind of guy.
Yeah, he's like creepy.
Yeah, they're funny. They're all funny.
Yeah, they're so funny. It is really, really funny, actually. I think I laughed more in this one than I did with the first one.
I actually found that without them, I think the film would have lost a lot of its, power, because any scene, Michael Pena, or is his name Luis?
Yeah, Luis. Yeah.
Any film that any scene that he's in, he just owns the scene.
Exactly.
It's like it's all him.
I think he's got that role. He's got that character down to a T.
He has. Yeah.
Like he knows how to play that.
Even the way he talks and stuff, and that whole bit where in both films there's a little montage where he's telling the story, and he the story will involve other people, but his voice is in them. I guess it's a bit like what's his name, the original director of Ant-Man that got thrown off.
Flipping hell.
Yeah, we'll get his name.
Edgar
but yeah,
Wright.
Edgar Wright. Yeah, because he has montages like that in his films.
Yeah,
and
I think
they've
that was
kept
his
it.
thing.
It was his thing.
Yeah.
It was his thing. Yeah, so they've kept it and I guess tweaked it a bit. But that's a really funny bit.
It is really funny. So so Scott Lang, he's under house arrest.
Yeah.
He can't leave the house. The FBI is on his ass. And then you got Hank Pym, Hope. They are building a machine so that they can then get into the quantum realm to bring back the the wife and the mother. And they need Scott Lang's help, but he's under house arrest.
Yeah.
So somehow they all team back up again.
Yeah, they all team up.
To get the kind of the technology to get the mum back or the wife back. And there's a new player in the film. And his name is this guy. I really like this guy. His name is Walton Goggins, and he was in a show called The Wire. Sorry,
is this the? I mean, Prisoner Cell, the prison one. Is that the one?
Sorry, no. What?
Who are you talking about?
Sorry, the guy with the southern accent.
Oh, him. Okay,
yeah, Walton
yes,
Goggins.
okay.
I said The Wire. Sorry, no. The Shield.
Oh, The Shield. I've not seen that.
Oh, mate. It's fucking wicked. Like,
Is
seriously,
it?
yeah. This guy, so he usually plays kind of like the baddie
Like
in a lot of films, sinister, kind of like sneaky.
I've seen his face before, but in other films, I just can't place him.
He was in Tarantino's Inglorious. Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. Yeah.
He was in that one. He's a good actor. So he's kind of like a new player, and he wants the technology.
Yeah.
And the thing that I want to ask you is this: he kept talking to someone on the phone.
Yeah, we don't know who that is because he said, he's working for a higher kind of power or something.
And I was hoping that as the film progressed, they were going to kind of show that.
They did it on purpose. They're setting things up and they're leaving things open for if there's a part 3.
Yeah.
Like, it can be anyone.
Sure.
So rather than telling us now who it is and then it changes, they left it open on purpose.
Right, okay.
So that there's space to develop that, which is, I think, a good idea.
Yeah. So this new kind of like bad guy, villainy type, he wants the technology because he wants this technology so that can give it to this other person who is unnamed. We don't know who this is. And then we have another villain or a new villain into the mix. And who tell us about this person?
Yeah, Ghost. Yeah, Ghost is a villain that we spoke briefly about a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Who has the ability to quantum phase.
Wow.
Yeah, so literally phase between realities. So it's not just about disappearing. Literally, their cells and atoms are instantaneously going between dimensions. Because if we're going to get really deep, which we won't do now, but there's, not just in the movies, but in reality, people, physicists and scientists and so on, believe that we have different dimensions that are just next to where we exist. They're in different frequencies and different quantum realms also, almost, you can say.
Yeah.
And obviously understanding how to tap into that, I ain't got a clue. They probably got a clue, but just don't have the ability to execute that.
Yeah.
And she does. So literally, it's not about building a machine and flying, the speed of light. It's literally being able to, almost like the Flash. The Flash has an ability to, vibrate so fast he can phase through things.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like that. Having that ability to tap into that frequency,
sure, and
phase through different, existences, almost like string theory and multiple, universes and dimensions. It gets quite deep.
It is deep, isn't it?
But it's all in the quantum. The quantum, physicists and quantum theories are a real thing. It's not just in the movies. This is real.
This is real shit.
Yeah, real shit.
Okay, so we've got Ghost. She's kind of like, let's just call her the villain of the film. And what does she want from Hank and from Hope and from Scott?
She just wants to live. She just wants to live. She's the backstory is that her father used to work for or with Hank Pym.
Yeah.
That quantum, stuff that they did.
Yeah.
He got fired or let go or whatever. He tried to do his own quantum machine. It went, as it always does in these comic films.
Went pear-shaped.
Things, blow up.
Yeah.
And rather than just being a normal explosion, there's going to be some quantum explosion. so she's standing right next to her parents.
Yeah, exactly.
It explodes and she's the only one that gets the powers and the only one that
she
lives.
gets exposed to it. Yeah. And she can't, she finds it hard to kind of touch things and she's always phasing into things. So as a young child, she can't control it.
Exactly.
And then she gets help from someone. And that someone is played by...
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne,
aka Morpheus.
aka Morpheus, and you know everyone will know him from obviously The Matrix. So he's also like kind of like a good person, and he just sees the child, doesn't he? He just wants to protect the child and help her out.
He's also worked for Hank Pym as well.
He did.
So he's quite clever as well. Just I would say a shout out to the actress that plays Ghost, Hannah John Kamen.
Yeah,
she's been in Black Mirror. She's been in Ready Player One.
Yes.
Been in Game of Thrones as well. So British actress of mixed heritage, but she's really she's good and hot.
I think she's going to be in a lot of stuff, isn't she?
Yeah, I can see her being in like one of those like Star Warsy kind of know roles. She's been in Star Wars before.
Yeah,
as a sort of, a small role in Star Wars.
Sure.
I think a stormtrooper or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see her. She's good.
And she brings, like, she's British, and like obviously everyone knows that British people play the best villains.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so she's not a straight up villain. So there is she has this character arc.
Yeah. She's not born of evil intentions. That's the thing.
Exactly.
She's not evil, but she's almost like, you know how you had Martin Luther King and you had Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King is almost like how Hank Pym is. He wants to go to the quantum realm. He'll do it peacefully in his shed. Whereas she's more like Malcolm X, by any means necessary. You get in my way, I'm gonna
take you down.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
So they both want the same thing.
Yeah,
it's just how they go about getting it.
Different ways of doing it, and this is where the Lawrence Fishburne character comes in. Like, he's kind of that balance.
Yeah,
put her in check type of thing like that. But it's not. She doesn't want world domination.
No,
she doesn't want money. She just wants, like you said, she wants to live.
Wants to be. Imagine that. She can't really. Like, she's obviously a virgin. Yeah, because
how could she have done?
She can't do anything. You try and put anything, in her, it's gonna fail. It's gonna just go right through, and she'll be like,
I'm not getting anything.
Are you feeling this? No, I'm not. Do you get asked that often? Yeah.
Hey, you want to go on a date? Like,
can you imagine? That's just going to be like a really, really crazy.
Yeah.
It's like almost like you just. I don't go into much into this, but think about the logistics. Like,
how would she have a relationship with
anyone?
anyone?
Won't have much like kissing and touching.
Yeah,
it's going to be really minimalistic,
and that's why. Like, imagine the frustration.
Yeah, she seemed frustrated.
Exactly,
I'll be frustrated.
And like, when we meet her, she just and there's a fight scene where she encounters Hope. That she encounters the Wasp and Antman.
Yeah.
And she kicks basically their ass.
Yeah. Her powers, I even think her powers are a bit even understated even more, because she should be able to do a whole lot more.
Sure.
Obviously, this is a 12 or
12 rate
whatever,
film,
or PG or whatever it is. Really, she could be phasing into people's chest, pulling out their hearts. She can do that.
Oh, and you know what? You're absolutely right, because there is a scene where she gets she puts her fist through Hank Pym.
Yeah, and it's like he's okay, obviously, because it's PG.
Yeah.
Afterwards, he's rubbing his neck. I'm thinking, hold on a second. What is a rub neck? Your neck should be mashed. If her fist, obviously, like, I don't think she solidified her fist when she was there.
Yeah.
I think maybe just the presence kind of unsettled his neck. But if she solidified her fist, he would have gone splat. He would be dead.
Yeah.
Like, it's like how Vision is. Like, Vision can do the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the fight scenes, the kitchen fight scene for me was the best fight scene.
That was really good, wasn't it?
In the whole film. Yeah. And I think for me, I prefer Hope.
Yeah.
Hope is wicked.
She's got grit. She's got that edge where a part of her is like, look, she needs to get the job done, and she'll just basically kick ass. And Scott is like, hey, whippy.
Exactly.
Like, that kind of fun,
her fighting, she's trained, she can fly, she's got the zappers, but even without that, I reckon she can still beat them up.
Yeah.
For me, she's better.
Yeah. Definitely. And so we've got all these players in the film, and obviously the backstory is that they want to see Michelle Pfeiffer back again, who plays...
Gosh, don't start me on Michelle Pfeiffer, man.
Yeah, man.
On Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah. Oh, man, I've had a crush on Michelle Pfeiffer since flipping...
But have you seen her now?
Oh, man. No, I haven't seen
I'm actually going to cuss you there. I'm going to cuss. When it comes time for that, I'm going to cuss.
Okay,
I've got things to say.
All right, okay.
I've got things to say.
Right, okay. So tell us about... all right, we're going to save that one and save that one. So
where are we, basically?
Yeah, where are we? I'm just trying to think.
We are... So there's a lot of to and fro in, because they all want the same thing.
Yeah.
Team Pym
Yeah.
want to get into the quantum realm to save Janet, and Team Ghost want to get in there and save the girl.
Yeah.
And then you got these other sort of these gangsters that want the tech because they wanna sell it. Actually, a note on the gangsters, you know,
Yeah.
I've got a little what's the word I'm looking for? Just
A little tidbit.
a little tidbit, yeah.
Yeah.
So Usman.
Oh shit! This guy is
Usman.
from. He's another Brit.
Let me get there.
Okay,
there. So
okay.
Usman,
Yeah.
gangster. He's funny. Like
Yeah.
when I saw him on screen, my eyes just lit up. The scene with the truth serum, one of the funniest scenes in
It's
the
not
film.
truth serum.
Exactly, I know. One of the funniest
It is
scenes
funny,
in
isn't
this
it?
film and the first film.
Yeah.
But the thing about Usman, I've met Usman.
What?
Usman. So Abby and I obviously used to do shorts for talks and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Usman, he's local. He used to
You
live
are
down the road.
Can you get him on the show,
He's
please?
lived down the road.
Oh
I've met
gosh.
him a couple of times. He's done short films, done theatre.
Yeah.
He's done a short film called Realms, which he showed at our film night. He actually came in and showed
Oh,
it.
wicked.
And he's just a good guy. He's down to earth guy. He's just,
Yeah.
you know, he's done really well. Who's in Lion as well? Who played Nicole Kidman's
The brother.
Exactly, yeah.
The other
I
son.
didn't even know. I've
Yeah.
not seen Lion, but I'm going to see it now. But
It's a good film, it is, yeah.
he's been in a lot of TV shows. He's literally up and coming. I'm so glad to see.
I know.
A local lad has gone to
and
Marvel.
he's getting somewhere.
Exactly.
And the reason why I know him is because I watched this program. It's called Detectorists.
Yes, yeah, I've heard
Oh
of it.
man,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
wicked. He's in
yeah,
that one,
yeah.
and he plays a geek in that.
Yeah,
But I mean, you
yeah,
know, he's
yeah.
really funny. But he plays like a gangster in this.
Yeah,
and
I know. When I
it's just
first saw it, I
funny.
thought,
It's like,
how's, because I don't really, obviously, I don't really know him that well, and
Yeah.
also like. But when I saw him, I thought, okay, is he going to be a gangster?
Yeah.
But then it's like they're not like obviously like, you know, like
Typical
Tarantino gangsters, like serious
like henchmen,
gangsters. They're
like
kind of
jokey.
jokey, kind of, and it works. The whole clique of them.
when Walton Goggins, he's like, he goes Usman.
Yeah.
Like when he said Usman, I was like, what? This is
I
so
know,
funny,
I know.
man. It's brilliant. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And I think in this type of film, you expect that type of comedy in there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like
It's
as serious as
yes,
Civil
exactly.
War or
Yeah, exactly. It's got that tone, and I think they all hit the tone correctly.
yeah,
It's
definitely.
just funny.
And
There's a bit where, like, I know we're not going into spoilers too much in this.
Yeah.
We're going kind of light, but there's just a couple of bits we got to say because it's funny. But
Yeah.
this bit where they're all like, you know, tied to the chair, and his phone rings, and and Lawrence Fishburne's trying to, you know, sort of tell them off, and the phone rings. It's like, and after it happens, you notice that no one even says anything. They just
Yeah,
carry on
they
talking.
just carry on talking.
That for me is even more funny.
That was
And I
hilarious.
think the director wanted a bit of the dry humor to be
Yeah.
in this, because in the first one there was humor, but the level of dry humor, the sort of Taika Waititi kind of level of humor,
Yeah.
I think he wanted to sort of, you know, dip into that a bit more,
yeah,
because it's a hit. And I
Yeah.
think people's humor over time, it does change.
So,
You
yeah,
know, so you got to
sure.
sort of keep up with the times and see what people find funny and hit those marks, which
Yeah.
I think Peyton Reed, I think his name
That's
is.
it, Peyton
I
Reed,
think
yeah.
he's trying to sort of hit that. So yeah,
So
well,
it's like I said before. I mean, I found it funnier.
Yeah.
I laughed more in this one than I did the second one.
Okay,
I
okay.
I think I enjoyed myself more in this one than the first one.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny.
And I mean, the one weakness which I think I will kind of mention is the villain.
Oh yeah.
And I think we were spoilt with Killmonger
Oh yeah.
from Black
Yeah.
Panther and Thanos. And I just think in terms of a villain, and I understand that she's not a straight up villain. Like for example, Thanos, he wants to kind of wipe out half of humanity. Killmonger, it was like he was fighting for his birthright.
Yeah.
He was like he was going to take something
Yeah.
which was his.
Yeah.
And with Ghost, it was kind of lesser evil.
Yes. Yeah.
But I still kind of was expecting it to be. I wanted her to be more of a challenge for Hope and Ant.
A bit more of a threat, because
yeah.
I didn't really feel that there was much of a threat. It's like literally they could have sat down and had a meeting before and been like, okay, so what is it you're looking for? Oh, you want to go to the quantum zone?
We'll
okay,
help
we
you.
want to go to the quantum realm too. But in there's a lady that actually might be able to help you. So if you just let us go in there first, then we can get her out and we can help you. She'll touch your face and you'll be all right. Is that okay? Cool. Okay. You go and sleep in your chamber. We'll come right back to you, wake you up when we've got her. Bob's your uncle. They
You
could
know
have.
what?
That's a
Ladies and gents,
30-second shot.
that is basically what could have happened. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
But
seriously.
there'll be no film.
No, I know, but I mean, it just makes you think. Like, she wasn't like dark. Like, she could have been a lot darker.
Yeah.
You know, and I just thought to myself, okay, it wasn't a well-written character.
Yeah, but then for the tone of Ant-Man, it's like, I don't know if dark.
Could they have made it darker than
I
that?
don't know, but the whole tone of it. I mean, it's hard to get that comedy and darkness. It's really hard, but I do agree. Don't get me wrong. I 100% agree with you, and I said the same thing when I first saw it.
Yeah,
the villain for me was a bit.
I think they got the right balance in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, just about. Yeah,
because Hela was quite dark.
Yeah, she was, and she cut his eye. I mean, things happened that were permanent.
Yeah,
you know, Ragnarok. I mean, sorry, not Ragnarok. What's that place called again?
Asgard.
Asgard gone.
Yeah,
you know, so permanent things happen. So there was consequence.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, like, you know, maybe they made it a bit too light.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just maybe a personal preference.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe for a lot of other people, it was like, that was kind of like the right balance and things like that. So in terms of kind of like where this stands in the whole MCU,
it's
is it kind of, or is it clearly like, or firmly right? Okay, this is an Ant-Man product, and this is an Ant-Man film, and it's kind of, you know, you have your Civil Wars, you have your Avengers.
I think you're right. Yeah, and it's got its place. It's quite light.
Yeah,
and they know it's not going to be the biggest product in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but they know he's got his. I mean, he's an ant. He's small, but at the same time, he's got purpose.
Yeah,
and I think we're going to see that purpose going forward. He's going to be integral, I think, going forward.
Okay,
but before that, I mean, Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah, go on.
I did want to say some things on that. Yeah,
come on.
Okay, yeah. So I liked her in Catwoman. I liked her in other things she's done. Yeah, she was hot in the past or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But what was
okay for me? Yeah. I guess I can't. I got to stop myself from maybe getting too caught up in the minutiae of things. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. She's been, she's been banged up abroad. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
30 years she's been
inside the quantum void.
Okay, telling me. Okay, so maybe she doesn't need to eat. I don't know. Does she eat? Does she drink? She had great makeup on, eyeliner. Her hair was like done or whatever.
Yeah.
Aging. Does she age in the right way? Or I'm not sure how that works. But at 30 years, she seemed in really good shape. I'm sorry. Yeah, she seemed in really good shape after 30 years.
And what about the stability, the mental mind? She hasn't spoken to anyone in 30 years.
No. Yes, I don't know how. But she did say that she evolves. She's evolved.
Okay.
I'm hoping maybe that is the explainer as to all my questions as to, you know, what, why, when, how.
What you're saying, that the quantum energy? Yeah,
because she even said, Hank said to her, like, what happened, or how do you, you know, whatever. And she said, it's like you evolve here. So maybe that explains her maintenance after 30 years. Like, that's a lifetime.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was just too easy. She just came walking out of, you know.
I would have loved a bit of a backstory to what happened to her in the quantum realm. Like, maybe they show how at first she struggles,
exactly.
and maybe they could have condensed that down.
Yeah, like a little bit of a sort of
montagey type of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's going to be
maybe
in the
it's been
Blu-ray.
cut out. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it has been.
But I just think, like, for her to be in the quantum realm for that long, how did she like survive?
How? People say, I mean, I've watched it 3 times now.
What? But Ellie came out on bloody Thursday.
Well, I watched it midnight Thursday and Saturday. People are saying, okay, so a bit of theories here.
Yeah.
When they're in the quantum realm and Michael Douglas and her sort of get together, in the background you can see shapes of like some sort of palace or some sort of building.
Oh.
People are saying that maybe she was living with people in the quantum realm because they were like these shapes that look a bit like
humanoid.
No, like houses, like structures. So maybe there's a place where there's people where she survived and helped them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, there's a part where who is it? Was it Scott Lang? Somebody went into, I think it was Scott Lang that went into like a sort of no, Michael Douglas, sorry. He went into the house just while he went to the quantum zone. He sort of went a bit crazy, and there's a bit of a scene where he's in this house, and Scott Lang's in there. What's his name? Morpheus is in this. Sorry.
Yeah.
Morpheus. Lawrence Fishburne's
Lawrence is
in
in
there.
it, yeah.
And I think Hope Van Dyne might be in there as well. And he's walking around this house. And one thing I did notice, in that house, out the window,
Yeah.
it was an orangey kind of colour. And that's the same colour when at the end of Infinity War,
Right.
when Thanos done the finger snap and he goes to see little Gamora, it's the same orange colour that world was.
Oh.
Almost as if he might have entered a similar world as the Soul Stone.
Soul Stone.
Yeah, so just that same kind of orange colour it looked. It could be nothing,
Yeah.
but it just looked like a similar.
But I
and it's
like-
like the sound and the place just had that kind of feel.
But I love how you like analyze it on that level.
You have to, you know.
I love that, man.
You have
That's
to.
wicked.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
but yeah, so
shit,
it might be that. But yeah, I mean, who knows? But yeah, we're going to find out,
Yeah.
obviously,
And
going forward.
And the thing that obviously this is possibly like a bit spoilery over here. There's a way that Janet communicated with Pym and her daughter,
Yeah.
and that's through Scott.
Yeah.
And the reason why she was able to do that is because Scott has been in the quantum realm,
Yeah.
so he's absorbed
Yeah.
a bit of the energy, right?
Yeah, it was a process called quantum entanglement.
That is it.
And Hank Pym even said, you tangled with my wife. He said, no, I respect you too much. But quantum entanglement almost is like, if you think of like, I don't know, of a person sending off frequencies.
Sure.
And I think of, what's that thing, that string spray?
Silly string.
Silly string, yeah. So
Yeah.
think of yourself sending out silly string
Yeah.
as frequencies, just constantly as you're talking or whatever.
Yeah.
And someone comes within your vicinity, if they come close enough to you, some of that silly string will attach onto them.
Yeah.
And even when they leave, it's still there.
Yeah.
So you're still sort of quantumly entangled to them. But obviously that's a silly example.
No, it's
but
great.
I'm trying to give you that, you
No,
know.
I pictured it.
You
Actually, silly
pictured
string
it.
going all over the
Exactly.
place. Yeah.
So when he came out, that silly string is still there. So she's able to send a message
Yeah.
through the quantum, physics or whatever,
Yeah.
to attach onto that silly string, which is out there, which is why she was able to almost
communicate.
tether herself to him and they can communicate. Yeah, so it's like...
that was another funny scene in there.
Yeah.
where Janet is speaking through Scott, but to
Yeah,
Hank
yeah.
Pym and the daughter and everything. It's
Yeah.
just it was quite funny. I really laughed on that one. And what other bits did I want to mention to you? So okay, we spoke about the villain, we spoke about Ghost, we spoke about Lawrence Fishburne, who's there kind of acting to ensure that she doesn't go overboard and become too self-destructive. We've spoken about the henchmen, the gangsters, the usual suspects are there as well. And also, we got to mention Scott's daughter.
I'm glad you mentioned her because I almost forgot to mention something.
Okay,
but
go
yeah.
on. Yeah, so basically, obviously he's a father. He can't leave the house, and the film opens with this big scene where Scott is with his daughter and they're playing around the house and everything.
Yeah.
So clearly he has this loving relationship with the daughter as well. And the one thing that I want to ask you, in the comics, is the daughter prominent in the comiks?
There's a reason for everything you just said.
Okay.
And it links to what I was going to say.
Okay, please.
There's a reason why they were pretending to, they had a little mission at the start. There's a reason for that. There's also a reason why Hank Pym said he needs a partner. Who's going to be the partner? He said, oh, Hope's going to be my partner. And she said, oh, what about me? There's a reason why at the end of the film, when they're in the drive-through cinema, Hope says to the daughter, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she says, oh, I want to help people. There's a reason for all of that.
Oh,
There's a casting
God.
call for Avengers 4. Avengers 4 has already been filmed, we know, but there was a casting call intercepted by our sources, and they show that there's been a recasting for Cassie. Her name's Cassie. And the recasting is for a Cassie who's a teenager, who's, I think, 16 or so. So I think what's going to happen
Yep.
is that there's going to be some sort of time jump. And we're going to get a bit of an older Cassie who is going to be like an ant girl.
Okay.
In the comics, she's called, it's gone from my head, but in the comics, she has the pin.
She's got
powers, yeah, and she can do stuff.
So this is potential spoiler now. Okay, so this is spoiler. This is going to be spoilerific. So if you don't want to hear anything about this now, then please.
Done spoilers already, so I think
Yeah,
it's too late.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so all right, and I'm going to link this to what you
jumping to the end now. Yeah,
I'm fast forwarding.
Okay,
I'm shifting a bit.
okay.
Right. Okay, so we've the end of the movie. The film is finished, and we get the credits.
Mid-credit scene.
The mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
So it's Hank Pym, it's Janet Van Dyne, and we've got Hope. And they're outside in some parking lot.
Yeah.
And they say to Scott, right, look, be careful because you're going to go into the quantum realm. And they've made it miniature now.
Yeah,
So at the back of a van,
Yeah.
he's able to jump in
Yeah.
and he'll be in
I
the
don't know how
quantum
they're
realm.
going to power that, but I guess they've shrunk in the power source. I don't know.
Yeah. So the three of them they're all doing their little tests and stuff. And they're saying, right, look, okay, do this, do that, do this. And he's like, yeah, no problem. He jumps into the quantum realm and he's in the quantum realm now.
Yeah.
And then...
That's quantum physics for
That
you.
is quantum physics. Gosh, look at this. So we're at that point where he's gone back in there, and this is all in the mid. This is the mid roll, right? This is the mid credit scene, and then the major event of Avengers: Infinity War happens. So while Scott is in the quantum realm, he's like, "Hey guys, come on!" He goes, "Are you there? Are you there?" And then all we see is the ash falling from their bodies.
Big,
so
big.
So Janet, Hope, and Hank Pym, they've been snaptured.
They've been snaptured.
They've been snaptured, and this means that Hank is in the quantum realm. And I want to just mention this and link this to what you just said about Cassie. Is she going to be the one to bring him out?
No, I can tell you what's going to happen. I know it's going to happen.
But okay, and then the end of all the credits, we see there's one ant remaining in Scott's house. So is this going to be a connection to that? And are we going to?
No, but that's a continuation of the snapshot, because if you notice, when the ant's playing his thing, the TV
is
exactly, because it just goes to show the enormity of what's happened. People have been zapped everywhere. So TV stations like gone.
Yeah.
But just going a bit before, so just before Scott Lang goes into the quantum realm, I don't know if it just cast your mind back. So Janet Van Dyne says to him, be careful of this, blah, 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 blah. Be careful of the time loops. If you get stuck in that, we can't get you out. She says that to him before. That's the last thing she says to him. Be careful of the time loops. If you get stuck in that, we can't let you out. But she says it so quickly that you don't really think it's anything of it.
Yeah.
So there's time loops down there. If he goes into that, he can go through time. So there's your answer as to what's going to happen. He is going to be instrumental
in Avengers 4.
Yes, because there's been set photos of Ant-Man looking as he is now.
Yeah.
Stark, Iron Man, looking slightly older. And then you got Captain America wearing his Avengers 1 suit. So I reckon Ant-Man, in his infinite wisdom, he's going to mess around with time.
He's going to pull back Captain America from the past.
If I can turn back time.
Oh my gosh.
If I can find a way. So and that's why we're going to get the older Cassie, because he's going to go forward in time and somehow mess things up, because you get an older Stark. So
he's gone forward
6 or 7 years older.
And that'll be the older Cassie?
Yes, an older Stark. And he might have gone back and got an old Cap. So he's gone back and forth and gotten people that can help him. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I think, but who knows? But yeah, time loops is going to be his savior.
You're onto something there, bro.
Who knows?
That is it.
Who knows? Well, people know, but they ain't telling us.
Yeah,
I don't want to know, actually.
But I mean, listen, this is May, right?
Yeah.
May is the next Avengers.
Late April.
April, right? Yeah. Okay, so it's not long.
Not long at all. Before that, we've got Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Or Captain Marvel. So I keep saying Miss Marvel.
I know. I keep saying Miss Marvel as well. Right. But one thing I was hoping for, or one thing I was thinking, okay, is there going to be some sort of connection between Ant-Man and Captain Marvel?
I remember like last time I thought that she might be in a quantum realm.
Yeah.
I thought that might explain why she doesn't aged or something, but I was totally wrong.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong again. Who knows?
No, but what I love the fact is that we're having this discussion about it type of thing. Like, all right. So, wow. Yeah. There's a lot now that you mentioned all that. I was like, fuck yeah. So the time loop.
Yeah. When you watch it again, you'll see. And
I am going to watch it
so obvious when you watch it again. I've seen it 3 times. So obviously don't think I'm clever.
It's fresher.
I've seen it, yeah,
no,
exactly.
no,
but when you
yeah.
see it again, you're thinking, shit, of course he's gonna do that. She says it to him. So yeah,
Fuck, man.
but yeah, so that was Antman and Wasp. So
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got
how
stuff
many
to
ants
say,
though? How many ants would you give it? We didn't give it an ant.
oh shit,
how many ants?
sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna give it more than I gave the first Ant-Man.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give this. I'll probably say a good solid 8 ants.
Okay. That's a good score. That's a good
Yeah.
score. I actually, I'm giving it 7 ants.
Okay.
7 ants, only because of a few of the inconsistencies and the weaknesses with the enemy and so on. But I actually, I don't know. I think it was, in a way, in some ways it was better, some ways it was worse than the first.
Right,
so for
okay.
me, I'm leveling it off.
Leveling
They're
it
both
off.
for me 7s, which is still a good film.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
and,
me.
And
that's
now,
me.
and now the fact that you've kind of opened it up to me in that regard as well, I'm thinking, shit, yeah.
There's more,
like-
yeah. So for me, the end credit scene for me just brought it up.
Yeah.
Literally, that thing was like, yeah, that just linked it. It gave us, hope as to what could happen.
Sure.
That for me really done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously the comedy, Michael Pena, he smashed
He
it for
was
me
good.
as well.
Yeah.
And Usman as well.
Yeah, it was truth serum.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, fantastic. So, ladies and
Cool.
gentlemen, if you've got stuff to say about Ant-Man and the Wasp, let us know. Like, if give us your take on it. Let us know what you think, whether or not, how's it going to connect into Avengers Infinity War. Let us know, and we'll be more than happy to kind of talk about it and share it on our next episode. Okay, so now let's move on to Hidden Gems. And we've got a few on there, and I know you've selected some which are, listen, I don't know any about.
That's why they're hidden.
That's why they're hidden. But one film that I do want to mention is a 2008 film called Gran Torino, and I mentioned this because it was released on Netflix just recently.
Oh wow! So hold on, you hit 3 there. You hit a hat trick. So you hit it on streaming. You actually hit it on Anniversary Corner, 10 years, and you've hit a hidden gem as well.
Hidden gems as well.
That's
Okay.
a triple threat.
Well, I think for this film, why not? Because it was made in 2008. It was directed by Clint Eastwood, who has had this remarkable career. You're talking about this guy, right, who's been making, he's been in films and TV since the 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
This guy is going strong.
Yeah.
And I've been a huge fan of Clint Eastwood since kind of the Man with No Name trilogy.
Okay.
So Good, Bad, the Ugly,
Yeah,
Fistful
yeah.
of Dollars and all that sort of stuff, right? And then he transitioned from Western movies into, you could say kind of like a modern day action hero, where he was in, Sudden Impact and
Yeah.
the Dirty Harry sort of
Yeah.
stuff. And then, he kind of phased out a bit in the 80s and 90s, but he came back with a film. I'm not sure if you remember this, called Heartbreak Ridge.
No.
Okay, so that was kind of 1989, and I love that film. It's kind of like another war film. So he's this kind of all-American, stand up for American values.
Yeah.
He seems like that type of a
All American.
exactly, and famously he's a Republican.
Okay.
So
I know what that means.
So he's
Is that conservative or Labour?
conservative.
Okay.
Basically, he would have probably voted for Trump.
Oh, okay. That's what Republican means. Okay. And
Yeah.
Democrat is more like the Obamas and all that.
And the Obamas, yeah, right.
Okay.
So you kind of, he kind of has that kind of sensibility, and like it or not, he does make some great films. $1 Million Baby,
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
was a cracking film.
Iwo Jamo, him.
Yeah,
And
Iwo Jima.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Midnight Train to Paris or something, or
That was it.
13 something.
17 to
Yeah,
Paris.
which
yeah.
actually starred the real people that. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
next time on that
maybe
one.
next time on that one. All right. So, okay, Clint Eastwood, he plays like a Korean War veteran. He's in his 60s, 70s or whatever. So he's this gruff. He's this kind of growling
Yeah.
old timer. And
He's like Wolverine if he got old, isn't it?
exactly. and imagine if Wolverine got became a racist.
Yeah.
Or xenophobic or
Yeah.
prejudiced. That was it.
Yeah.
This is what this character would be, right? So, and he wears that kind of character on his sleeve. So he is racist, he is prejudiced, and he is kind of like who are these people coming into my hometown? And the hometown that he's kind of thinking about is, I think it's in some suburban place in Michigan.
Okay.
All right. So whereas 30, 40 years before that, it was all white people. Now it's black families, it's Asians, it's filled with gangs,
Yeah.
Latino gangs and stuff. So he sees this, and he's like, this country's gone to shit.
Let's make our nation great again.
And this is why I think is quite relevant for now.
Yeah.
So this film was made in 2008, and you look at it in 2018, I think a lot of people will be like, yeah, you know what? America was great, but look at all this shit that's going on in our world. And he plays like I mentioned, he plays like a Korean War veteran. He's a loner. He's isolated. His wife of 50 years died recently.
Oh, wow.
So he's basically got no one. You know, his son comes to visit him in the film, and he's just like, listen, just piss off. Like, you know what? Leave me alone. I want to do my own stuff, and I want to do it my way. I don't want to like look over and see, you know, the Asians, like, and you know, he says all this stuff. You know, so clearly he is like racist and he's prejudiced. Now, the film takes a turning when someone tries to steal his beloved 1969 Ford Gran Torino car, and this car is absolutely beautiful. It's like amazing, and he gets broken into by like someone who lives on the street nearby. It's like an Asian. I think he's the Hmong. They're the Hmong community, and they came from like Vietnam, Laos, and like Chinese. They're kind of like a mixed community. They went over to America in the 70s, and Walt is like, who the fuck do you think you are? And pulls a gun at him and like, you know, almost kills him. And like this kid is like, look, I'm really, really sorry, but I had to do it because I want to be part of this gang. And Walt is like, what are you talking about? Part of a gang. So as the film unfolds, he kind of builds up, this unlikely relationship kind of unfolds between Walt, this racist, and this kind of Asian kid, Asian American. And, you know, he kind of slowly starts to open up to this kid, and he realizes that, look, you know, he comes from this background, they're poor, he's going to get sucked into violence, he's going to become a gang member. And slowly Walt then opens his eyes to this and lets him into his heart, into his house, and then they kind of become like good friends. And I just thought to myself, if you want to see a film about, you know, how America is feeling right now, you probably watch this and you think, yeah, people are pissed off. They're probably thinking, okay, they've got loads of immigration, got loads of kind of crime, loads of gang violence. But then with that also comes the opportunity to learn something from another group of people. And I think that's what happens to Walt. His mind changes, his perception changes, his attitude changes. And then in the end, he ends up helping this kid to become a better person. And there's a bit at the end which I'm not going to give away, it defines the whole movie, and it defines Walt's character and it's basically a sacrifice. And I just think to myself, for a film that was made in 2008, it's relevant for 2018, directed by a guy who was in his like 70s or 80s back then. He's still making movies. I thought, fair play, man. Great film. So if you can watch it, it's definitely worth watching and revisiting again, ladies and gents. And that's Gran Torino, made in 2008.
Yeah, I think I need to watch that again. I have seen it ages ago, but I need to watch it again because I can't really remember.
Exactly. I mean, it's 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years. So, like, you know, so that's my hidden gem. Okay, so now, Deval, tell us about Enemy.
Enemy, yeah. So Enemy, a film made in 2013.
Yeah.
I'm going to say just two things.
I have never heard of this film.
I'm not going to go into too much detail because I think this needs to be... It's one of those films that you can't... It's hard to explain.
Sure.
But you need to watch it.
Okay.
You need to watch it. Okay, I'm going to say two things.
Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve.
Yes.
Yeah. And A23.
They make great films.
Yeah. So they... Hereditary, Witch... they've made... what was that film that came out? The film with... I can't remember now, but yeah, I'll get a list up. But yeah, they've made such a long list of really, really, really good films. Moonlight.
Oh,
all these independent indie films, they distribute them. So Enemy, Jake Gyllenhaal.
What?
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal is an enemy, and he does a marvelous job.
Wow.
He is... So just a bit about the premise. He is a teacher. One day he sees on the TV an actor who is the spitting image of him. and it is the same person basically.
Okay.
Looks like him and is him, and yeah, he's just on this pursuit to try and find out who this person is, and things are really, really weird in this film.
Okay.
Really weird. It's got all the signatures of Denis Villeneuve's films.
Yeah.
Arrival. You seen Arrival?
Yeah.
You know the aliens in Arrival?
Yeah.
So in this film, yeah, I'll say one thing. This film opens up with Jake Gyllenhaal's character going into this dark place with different people. It's almost like a Casino Royale type dark environment.
Yeah.
All these men are watching this lady pleasure herself.
Okay.
And it's really stylistically shot and all that. The sound, the lighting, it's a bit like Blade 2049.
Yeah.
2049, 2046, one of them.
2049,
I always
yeah.
get that mixed up. But it feels like a scene out of that, basically. And then a person brings a tray. You know, when they have that posh tray with a big sort of lid on top, opens it, a spider comes out. Within this film, there are key moments where a spider will reveal itself, and the spider's always in a different form. There's a scene in the film where you see a landscape shot of the city, and you see these skyscrapers and so on. Along with the skyscrapers, you see a massive spider type thing.
Yeah.
And it looks exactly, well, not exactly, but it looks similar to the sort of octopus type creatures in Arrival.
Oh.
So you get to see where the inspiration came from.
Yeah.
This film is
Deep.
hidden gem
Really?
territory. Yeah, it's just so unique. Jake Gyllenhaal is just excellent in it.
Yeah.
I'm lost for words. I need to see it again because I saw it a while ago.
Yeah.
But when I was looking for a hidden gem, it's like sometimes my best hidden gems are films that I've forgotten myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when I remember, and I'm like, oh shit, this one.
Yeah.
And I came about it just randomly. It
Yeah.
came out the same year. There was a film called The Double that came out with Jesse Eisenberg.
That's right.
Came out the same year. That one got a lot more press. This
Okay.
one didn't.
Oh.
This one is 10 times better.
Really?
10 times better. Denis Villeneuve, A23.
This guy, man. I got to watch it.
He's gangster.
Just the premise sounds brilliant. Like you're double. Like imagine that you're flicking TV and you see yourself.
Yeah. Crazy. And before I got a bit tongue twisted before on some of the films that A23 has distributed.
Yeah.
And I mentioned Moonlight, Ex Machina.
Oh, wicked.
Exactly. Ex Machina, they distributed that as well. Room.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brie Larson. Lobster with Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
I think Her might be one of them as well.
Oh, okay,
I'll double
wow.
check on that one. But yeah, they've just distributed so many top indie films. That Free Fire, that's the film I was thinking of. Free Fire's got Brie Larson as well.
Yeah, and that was directed by it's a British guy. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
It's the crazy kind of gangster film where they're all shooting each other. It Comes at Night. A23 distribution as well. The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Which
I spoke
you
about that a
mentioned,
while ago. Lady Bird.
Yeah.
Mentioned that. And just a whole bunch of, I could go on forever. Hereditary,
Wow.
like I mentioned before. And they've got a few up and coming films that I know are going to be really good.
Yeah.
So A23, literally.
They're like,
You know when it was founded?
when?
A23 was founded 5 years ago,
Fuck,
mate.
man.
5 years ago, 2013.
Wow. It's mad. And look, they're already making so many great films.
Crazy. But yeah, so Enemy, you got to watch that.
I'm
going to
check
watch that again.
I'm going
And
to check it out.
yeah.
I'm going to check that one out. Okay.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
Next film is a film called Martyrs.
Again, I have not heard of this.
You're
What is
supposed to.
going on?
Hidden gems you don't hear of.
Oh, man.
Hidden gems you don't find. They find you. I'm telling you, hidden gems find you.
All right, so come on.
At the Flicksters. So Martyrs is one of the most grotesque horror films I have seen.
Okay, and that's saying
But
something.
the meaning behind it is of beauty. Yes. It's a French-Canadian film. It's in French. It was remade in English about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the English version.
Okay.
Don't need to bother with that. But it's about a woman who, I don't want to give away too much, but basically she's captured and she's subjected to the worst things for years.
Yeah.
and it's all in the pursuit of finding out that question that no one can answer.
What, the meaning of life?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's all I'm going to say on that one, because I can't give away too much, but it's about the meaning of life.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, and in pursuit of the meaning of life, sometimes you have to do, well, I don't think so, but they believe you have to do the most grotesque
Unspeakable things.
Unspeakable, yeah. Martyrs. It's called martyrs for a reason too. That I won't tell you now what he means, but it's a really, really, it's a crazy film.
Oh,
guys, if you want to know about
shit.
this film, find it. If you can't find it, I've got it. I'll give it
Hit
to
us
you.
up.
Yeah. And the last one is called I Kill Giants.
What? When? And this
Yeah.
is like 2017.
Yeah,
so it's just last year.
Yeah. So I Kill Giants, again, hidden gem. It's got Zoe Saldana in it.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, I love her. She's brilliant.
Noah Clark is in it as well.
Right. Okay. Noel Clark.
Noah Clark. He's not got a massive role in it, but Noah Clark is in the film. It's a really touching film, actually. It's about a young girl who her mother's terminally ill, and she has these visions of giants that are going to come and take over her town.
Yeah.
And these aren't just regular visions. The special effects are actually really good on this one.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's almost as if, like, obviously only she can see them and stuff like that, but you're not sure if that's what she's seeing is real or not.
Yeah.
You literally don't know. You don't know. And her friend, she forges a relationship with another girl who's her friend, and
Yeah.
they have a good relationship, but obviously only she can see these things, and her friend wants to help her to be a bit more sort of social. She doesn't want to be social. Zoe Saldana's her teacher, who's trying to she's not really her teacher, actually. She's more of a counsellor in the school.
Right. Okay.
She tries to talk to her because she knows she's going through some stuff at home.
Sure.
And she's not really, being that receptive to it. But it's a really, 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 really good story.
Nice.
I came across it because I read the description and I thought, it's giants, and the image looks like, actual giants. And I thought, okay, this could be interesting.
Yeah.
But it's not, forget about the giants for now. It's more about this person, this young girl who has to deal with something that's really, really hard for her to deal with.
Oh, okay.
And it's a really good story,
Really?
good coming of age kind of story in her isolated sort of, mind.
Nice.
And how she deals with things, and just, the visualization of what manifests for her
Yeah.
in trying to deal with those problems. So it's really, really good. Really high rating on Rotten Tomato.
Yeah.
On IMDb, high rating as well. And again, no one's really heard of it.
No.
It wasn't out in the cinema in the UK.
No.
So yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to try and hunt that down. But I think with the film that's kind of intrigued me the most is Enemy.
Enemy, trust me, you've got to see Enemy.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you before.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That one looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Wow. Again, another great selection of films there, Deval. I think that brings us to the end of this week's episode.
It brings us to the end, guys. So hope you enjoyed it.
And what have we got coming out soon?
Coming out soon, we have a few films coming out soon.
Yeah, we have.
Which we will talk about in the next show.
In the next show.
In the next show, we are going to review a film called Extinction, which does feature Michael Peña.
Yep.
And we've got some good hidden gems there as well, and some good news coming out next week.
Brilliant.
So guys, tune in for that, not tuning. Tune in.
And as always, as a treat to our listeners, we're giving away a free cinema code.
We are. So just you have to be a subscriber, and you have to send us a message or a review, and within that, just put down the number 12, please, for us to know that you are in sync.
Yes, that you're
and you're doing as you're told. So yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. So again, thanks for that, Deval.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for listening, ladies and gents, and thanks for downloading this show. We are the Flicksters, and we hope you enjoy it.